Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Stan Zeff, founder and curator of the Tambor Party. I'm joined with my beautiful wife, Jackie Tan.
Yeah.
And we have some very special, amazing guests that we're talking to. We have Radha and Eli from Daybreaker. It's a pleasure to have you guys on this talk, and we just want to chat with you for a while, just to introduce our community to Daybreaker, what it's about, and how it came about, and how we, how our brands are aligned in so many different ways. And we didn't know for years, and now we've met by the magic has brought us together, and it's amazing. So hi guys.
Hi,
welcome
so good to be
Tambor
here.
Party.
Hello, Tambor Party community. Nice to meet everybody.
Right.
And it's such an honor to be on here with both of you. So thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So let's get things started. This is going to be interactive. We can ask you questions. You can ask us questions. We can tell jokes. You can't. So tell us a bit about Daybreaker. How did it start? Where did it come from? How did it pop up?
So 8 years ago, 9 years ago almost. I was building another company called Thinks. It's an underwear company. I don't know if you know, underwear you can bleed into. It's period underwear. Anyway, and my twin sister and I, we were, kind of on this sort of rocket ship building this new startup. We would go out at night. Actually, this is before Eli. Eli quickly became my co-founder a few months later, but it really started because as women, I would go out, as also women, women of color, brown women, I would just go out at night, and the nightlife sort of experience would be overrun by drugs and alcohol and everyone on their phones and no one actually dancing. And it was a very predatory environment for women, and it just didn't feel like a vibe,
Right.
And I was also an investor in a nightclub at the time, and I just would go there on Saturdays and bring my friends. It was #1 nightclub in the world, actually.
Okay.
But it was zombie land, and I would look at the DJs, and this is before I started DJing as well. But it was no one was actually paying attention to the music, and no one was actually connecting to the artists, and no one was actually connecting to the vibe. They were just sort of in their own worlds, and sort of just, and I could just see the disconnection between the artists and the audience. And next time anyone goes out who's watching, and you're sort of out in the club or you're dancing, and you realize that there's a missing connection. It's probably why you were attracted to Tambor Party, and why you're attracted to Daybreaker, because you wanted to be part of a community that actually cared about the art, the music, the sort of the alchemy that was being created in the room. So that was sort of the genesis of Daybreaker, was could we sort of replace all the negative kind of stuff that takes away from the art music connection at night, and can we sort of experiment with a whole new genre of experience that was essentially bringing together artists, kind of the environment of wellness, replacing alcohol with green juice, replacing all the stuff, and do it in the morning, right? In the time of day where studies have shown that you're the most optimistic, you're the most energetic, you're in clean slate mode. So everyone comes with the same energetic sort of kind of clean slate. Whereas you go out at night, and obviously it's different for Tambor Party, but you go out at night and people are coming to the nightclub experience with completely different energies. And if you're a sensitive woman like me, or like us, right? You show up these spaces, you're like, whoa, like what's happening? I'm just like feeling all this weird kind of like incongruous energy all around me. And I just wouldn't feel like fully connected. And so, really the experiment was, if we brought everybody the same time of day when they came right out of their bed, started the day where circadian rhythms with the sun, as animals, we should be actually waking up with the sun and going to bed with the sun. Can we totally kind of shift the party environment, but keep all the juice, like the music, the art, the dress up, the play, the like, the, you know, the joy of the nightlife experience, but do it sort of in a way that really you are coming home to yourself, not escaping yourself. So Daybreaker is also substance free, and you know,
and it works.
And it totally.
And it works, right?
People are craving that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing I love about Daybreaker is the fact that I'm a morning person. So I'm a 4 a.m., 5 a.m. person every day religiously.
Yes.
So I get up 4, 5 a.m. and I work out, and then I come home, I meditate, I journal, I schedule my day, and that's my mornings every day. So Daybreaker for me is just like a blessing, you know, it's something that's falling out of the sky into my head, because now it's a chance for me and people like myself to you know, introduce music more as a collective, you know, as a community, you know.
That's right.
So we can grow more together, and we can be together, so that, you know, this whole thing, this morning routine just blows up, because the energy, as you know, in the morning is amazing.
Right.
You know? So it's out of this world. So I go to bed early in anticipation of getting up early. You know, that's my driving force for going to bed early, because I want to feel the energy in the morning.
Yeah, and you know, it's one of those things where, like, you know, at first, you know, we probably all started out as nightlife people, right? We all probably, you know, used to go out late at night, and what I've read in so many different studies is actually you can make yourself a morning person, and when you actually, right, I've become
a converted,
right, exactly, and when you become, it actually, studies have shown that you're more, again, you're a happier person if you are a morning person.
More productive.
You're actually more financially successful. There are less divorce rates. There's like so many things about moving into the morning life. You actually end up, it's anti-aging as well, because you're not having to hop yourself up on nicotine, alcohol, coffee, all the sort of like the uppers that keep you up at night. So you're going to bed. So it's actually anti-aging. There's so many reasons why being a morning person is so great, both for your body and for your mind. And so that's another thing that we forget, is that if we merge wellness and nightlife, right? Merge the arts and culture with a wellness routine, which has really never been done before. That's really what we did 8-9 years ago. We were like looking at these two universes that were so amazing, but they were so apart, and we brought them together. And I think that's why we took off so quickly.
I mean, the concept is there, and it works, you know. And during COVID, I had a moment where I was just thinking about the parties that we were doing pre-COVID, and I was looking for venues that I could get a crowd in there that, you know, were drinkers, and the majority of my following weren't drinkers, you know. So all they wanted was water, and they want to dance. And
we're not drinkers,
right? And we're not drinking, and you know, and people of all different backgrounds, but the music just makes people want to dance, you know, and they just want to drink water or juice or whatever. So I was thinking to myself, why are we looking for venues concerned about alcohol? Why don't we just do parties that have nothing to do with alcohol? You know, so people can come in, they can be sober, and you know, one of the first parties we did post-COVID, it was just a juice bar, and all the juices sold out, and people was like, I'm so happy I'm not waking up with a hangover the next day, and I'm gonna be healthy because I was drinking healthy drinks, you know. So it definitely works, you know. So tell us about your,
and you know, it's so funny because, like, my book,
right?
Oh yeah. So
actually, I bought it.
You got the book?
I bought the book. It's coming on Saturday, so I'm gonna.
Let's
you have to sign it for me.
I'd love to. I'd love you an honor. But I wrote the book because, and my book is called Belong. Find your people, create community, and live a more connected life. And you know, Eli and I spend so much time building community all around the world, and yet the everyday person doesn't actually know the mechanics of making friends. Brene Brown beautifully writes in her research about why belonging is important, but no one actually tells you how. How do I belong? How do I make friends? How do I meet people? How do I find values aligned people? How do I build my dream community? How do I build a movement like Daybreaker? So I would have these 1-hour coffees with people all the time who would want to know, how do I build community? Like, how do I do this? So I would meet them for coffee. I would have 1 hour, and I would give them as much information as I could, but 1 hour was obviously never enough. So then I just said, look, I know my life will be very much improved if everyone thought about gathering and community building the way we think about it. So I think that selfishly, I want to walk into spaces that are as intentional as the spaces that we create. So why not open source everything that I learned, that we all learned as a community? So so I spent 2 years writing this book, and actually what was so ironic is writing a book about community building alone by yourself can be a very lonely experience. So Eli was actually with me every night, because it was, we were still CEO running, I was still running Daybreaker. So I'd be after hours, I'd be working till 2 o'clock in the morning, and Eli would be there, with me, batting ideas back and forth, sleeping on the couch at my office, like at our office, like just like being together. So I was able to write the book in community, but the book is like 20 exercises. On the first half of the book is going inward to really get to know, look under the hood as to all the labels you're calling yourself. I'm an introvert, I'm socially anxious, I'm this, I'm that, I don't like people, I'm like whatever, just things that you say, I'm not likable, I'm unlike, just all things that we tell ourselves. We get into all of that kind of in the first half of the book to really understand what your history is and was, where you came from, look at your values, your interests, your abilities, how you show up for your community, what qualities you're looking for in a friend, all the things that we've never taken the time to write down, like what qualities am I looking for in a friend, So we do this for our professional careers, we do this for our love interests, for romance, but we never or rarely do this for friendships, and so the first half of the book kind of takes you through these beautiful, very simple exercises. So the book is also very much like an artist's way, a kind of a workbook for how to make friends. The second half of the book gets into the Daybreaker of like how we actually built the movement, what are the methods that we incorporated to do that, and really helps you get into building your personal community first, which is what I did. That then gives you the courage to build a game-changing movement, or a world-changing movement, or a global movement, like the ones that you're building, the ones that we're building.
Reading it. I'm looking forward to reading it. Yeah, I am. Earlier on this year, I read a book called Connected by James Fowler.
I don't know it.
Yeah, he's studied people and how people are connected, and what makes people connected, and like how we're connected to the fourth, what is it? The fourth level,
the 6 degrees,
the
separation.
six degrees of separation. Each person is actually connected to 6,000 people. But we're not aware of it, and we don't use that connection, and it's really interesting. Really interesting.
Wow. I mean, I think that's how we probably grew our communities. I mean, for us, people really kind of talk down about social media, but if utilized in the right way, people have a great time at Daybreaker. They share on their social media. And then, like you said, those 6,000 people begin, asking questions. Where was that? I want to check it out. I want to try it out. I want to bring it to my city. And so that's really how we grew Daybreaker from 0 to 30 cities with $0 spent in marketing. It was really all what we call whisper sharing through word of mouth, And so to your point, if you create something with deep intentionality and you really care, people want to share that and want to be the ones who've invited their friends to be like, hey, I'm sure you know this, but like at Daybreaker, the number of people who line up at the end who are like, just want to tell me like, hey, this is my friend, it's her first time, and I brought her here, and it was me that did that. It's just like, and it's just like, so there's so much pride in inviting people to introduce them to Tambor, right? It's like I brought this person to Tambor. I get to say that to my friends because Tambor felt so good. for my
Right.
friend. And now they're always going to associate Tambor with,
I mean, shout out to Sabine
know.
Blazin for making this connection happen.
oh my God.
Yeah, we were with her last
Sabine.
weekend.
Yeah, she came to our
Yeah.
event in New York. She,
Yeah.
I mean, Sabine's a great friend of ours.
Sabine
Yeah.
is the coolest. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Sabine actually kicked off Daybreaker live stream. We all are also on live stream during COVID. We did
Okay.
like 30 episodes. And
Oh,
Sabine
nice.
was our very first one when the world shut down. And we
Right.
were like, we had multiple suicides in our friend community.
Oh, wow.
And we said, we have to do something for our
Mhm.
friend group. Yeah. To
Yeah.
keep them joyful, dancing and moving while we're all stuck at
Right.
home. So
Right.
Sabine was our first phone call
Great.
for the very first Daybreaker live stream. Yeah. So
Yeah, she's great. We've actually brought her down to Atlanta as well to do tambors in Atlanta. And I've done
what
parties here in New York.
inspired you guys to start Tambor Party?
Well, I started Tambor in 2009. Okay. And obviously you can tell by my accent, I'm from London, England.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
used to a different type of event, clubbing, where it was just more inclusive and it was more about the music. And when I first came over to the States in 2000 and I went to clubs, people wouldn't dance unless they were dancing with a partner. And I was like, this is weird. This is really weird. I was like, no, this isn't how it should be. If you want to dance, you should just dance, you know, and you know, from what I could gather, women weren't safe because men were always approaching women and you know, when they just wanted to go out and dance and have fun and they didn't feel they could do that, you know, and it was too much profiling and stuff like that. So I always did parties in London. I grew up in music. So I wanted to create a party that would be, you know, inclusive for everyone, feel safe for women to come and just dance.
Yes.
So, you know, I went to Cuba. I was doing a spiritual retreat. I was on the plane coming back and I was reading this book. And the first word on that page, I just opened it up, was tambor. And tambor means drum ceremony. I said, that's it. That's what I'm going to call this party. And then that's how it started.
Wow.
I don't know how it happened, but I just did this party and the music and everything, and people just started to come just to dance, just how you like, whatever you like, and just come and just have a good time.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if you build it, they will come. I mean, you met
That's
your
right.
partner.
People desire it. I mean, when I first came to Tambor, which would have been 2019, it'd been years since I'd gone out. Back to what you were saying, Radha, the environment was just very predatory. And I'm a person who just wants to dance and have a good time. So it's been years. And someone had mentioned that Stan's this DJ, you should come to the party. And so I went. And I don't even really remember seeing Stan until the end because I was on the dance floor, just like dancing, you know, having a great time with people I really didn't know, you know, and I was like, wow, this is really special because it felt safe. I was, you know, free to dance by myself or, you know, whatever. And I was like, okay, this is a very cool vibe. And going back to you were also mentioning women, particularly, you know, we suppress a lot because of all these
we don't want
things coming out at us, right? When we really just want to like dance around and be free, and so have that space, and to help create it for other people. So, like I said, I met Stan in 2019. We got married in 2020, and I came on officially with Tambor, I guess 2020. Yeah, during COVID.
She got straight to work.
Yeah, I got straight to work.
Yeah.
Literally. I mean, Eli, do you want to? It's like, I mean, like
we met on the dance floor here at Daybreaker.
Okay.
I mean, literally the same parallel story.
I was hired after a day as her apprentice, and then worked my way up. Slept my way to the top, and 6 months in, I had a real job.
Right.
And we were in love, so it all really worked out very well.
I mean, it's literally the same exact story. Like he came, and afterwards he was like, "Hey," and you know, meanwhile he, you know, it's like I'm an older lady in comparison to him, but he just, building this thing together. He came in 8 months after we started Daybreaker. And really, without him, I really feel like we grew it together. It's our baby. And so, I love when, the music and the dance and the spirit of what the universe wants, sort of magnetizes love
Exactly.
too,
Yeah.
in the right way, not in the predatory
In
way,
the right
not
way.
in like the
It
drunken.
definitely brings to us what we
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And, I could say my prayers have been answered from beginning to now.
Yes.
It's just, it's amazing. It's an amazing journey, this life, and now it interacts with it.
What's your dream? What's the dream for Tambor now?
Pre-COVID, I was doing a cruise. So it was like for 3 years, I was doing a cruise where, I started off with about 300 people. And then when it went up to about 700.
Wow.
And it was on Royal Caribbean. So I booked out the clubs, reserved a bunch of cabins and promoted it, got DJs to come on and it just took off, and it was an amazing time. And 2020, obviously everything got shut down, and that was a dream for me, which I think we've accomplished. But I think going forward, I think what I would like is to have Tambor more in a intentional wellness music festival, a festival where we encompass all the things that we have in our lifestyle,
right?
That we love, and we're intentional for, and how that can how we can introduce that to other people.
So promoting it more as our lifestyle, as a culture, right? Because so there's so much to the music and the healing that it brings, and also begin to share with others how to
has to go
beyond that.
That's right. We're producing a show tomorrow, so just everyone jumping out. He's just he has to go and do the thing. So I'm just gonna
no problem. So yeah, we want to create spaces to expand connection with music, right? Which is a wellness.
We have to talk. We have so much to talk about. Yeah.
So more of a cultural movement than
I love that.
a dance experience.
Right.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I have this business plan that I've been working on actually for many years. I sort of tabled it during COVID, but it's like this whole festival experience that I just got it. We should just totally talk about that. But it's a sober, but sober, alcohol-free music festival. Alcohol and just sort of like hard drive, just like really sort of a substance-free festival. And like kombucha on tap, like maybe CBD on tap, and in New York, right? There's some some THC that has been approved, and so just like little moments, I think are totally fine. But you never see anyone helicoptered out on like THC.
Exactly. And that's one of the things we've noticed with Tambor, right? There's never a fight. No one's belligerent and drunk. Like people are walking away, hugging.
Exactly. And so we're not. So I'm a proponent for for other like non-alcohol substances, because I think alcohol is poison for your body. And CBD THC can be actually like portals into creative spaces. Anyway, talk about that more at length. But there's a whole ecosystem and a kind of a really big opportunity in the festival landscape that doesn't currently exist. And I just feel like it needs sort of a diverse group of dreamers who have the same interests to come together and do projects like that. And anyway, it'd be really fun to share and have an offline about this plan, but I think you'll really dig it.
So it sounds interesting.
But there's
sounds great.
There's actually two different projects. that we'll just offline. It's too much. It's too exciting to share with everyone, spoil the surprise. But I'm a big proponent of surprises as well, so we can talk about that offline, and just it could be a surprise for everybody. Yeah.
So I know your time is pushed, so let's just talk about what people expect with Daybreaker tomorrow. What what are they gonna come to?
Yeah, so essentially, we're doing an event at the Illuminarium here in Atlanta, Georgia. We just got to our hotel. Actually, we're from Brooklyn, New York, so we love traveling across the country and experiencing communities, all around the country and the world who are so aligned with the same values of dance, wellness, and community. Anyway, so tomorrow it's at the Illuminarium, which is an iconic space here in Atlanta, Georgia, that has I think 30,000 cameras and speakers and like a whole LED screen setup. That's going to be, it's the last stop of our nature tour. So imagine, nature scapes and animals and just beautiful kind of visuals all around you as we practice for the first hour yoga. So it's a 1 hour yoga that has instrumentals with it. So sound artists, musicians usually. So it's not just a classic yoga class, but it's a visual and a sonic experience. And then it's followed by a 2 hour dance party, which isn't just like a DJ pushing buttons, right? It's like we have, I think one of the things that we love as a collective between Tambor and Daybreaker is that we love to bring performance art to it. So we have a whole horn section, we have break dancers, we have all kinds of different surprise, what we call wow moments throughout the experience, with all kinds of different stilt walking artists and just all kinds of different stuff. I don't want to again spoil the surprise, but the whole idea is because we're sober at these events, we really want to kind of like introduce that dopamine element of surprise every 10-15 minutes. So you're not just like, all right, I'm dancing, now what? It's sort of like I'm moving my body. It's high intensity, like high energy, joyful music. We call it happy house music because the music isn't going to be like 110, 120. It's like 120 to 140 like BPMs. It's like, soul house, funk house, disco house, joyful house, like just like happy house music that takes you on a ride where you're just like sweating, you're hugging, you feel euphoric, you're singing along. There's a lot of sing-along musics that are remixed. So it's all kinds of just a heart opening, chakra opening experience. And the whole idea is you kind of like end your day having burnt like 1,000+ calories. You're just like, your heart's exploded open. You've like moved through trauma. I think it's sticky. You've just like thrown that out the door. You've stomped your way through stuff. We have an MC that takes you through. We have an amazing, our veteran international global MC travels with us across the country. So he'll be there tomorrow, Elliot LaRue. And he like takes you on we call him like the pastor. Like he like takes you on an insane journey of like just like unlocking any just like, sort of, I'm not a dancer, I'm too shy, or I need alcohol to really let go. Like he just like takes you there.
All of that.
He just like stop judging yourself and let go. Like we're here, all of us, for 2 hours. Let's go. So that's sort of like the vibe. And then we have a closing ceremony if you're smart and you're in the know. Like I'm giving you a secret right now. The last 15 minutes, we have a secret concert. So it's a closing ceremony performance. It's a secret concert. And we always have like, everyone sits in the dance floor because it's not spilt alcohol everywhere. It's a dry dance floor. So everyone sits on the dance floor, and then you watch an incredible singer-songwriter, artist performance. And we do a beautiful poetry reading as a community together to close it. Yeah. So it's a beautiful 3 hour experience. Yeah. With a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it's not like, typically you go to a dance party at a nightclub and it's like 5-6 hours, people come and go, and there's no really kind of a beginning, middle, and end. And Daybreaker is one of the few experiences, and I experienced Tambor as well, but Daybreaker is one of the few experiences that you have an opening, you have a closing and an end, and everyone is on the same journey, and we close it out together. We read a beautiful poem together to close it out, and then we all leave together. So it's not like it really
Yeah.
feels like a story, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
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 Ceremony.
That's
Mhm.
great. So
Ceremony, yeah. Closing
there you
ceremony,
go,
yeah.
people. You know what you're in store for. It's gonna be great. It'll be amazing.
Yeah, and
Daybreak.
guess who's DJing tomorrow?
Right, yes,
We
and I'm
got the
looking forward to that.
one and
You know,
only
working
Stan.
my set all week.
Mhm.
All
Yeah,
week I've been working.
oh good, I can't wait. So like, yeah, so I think you totally get the Daybreaker. I mean, you know, you get it's
Yeah.
like single, you know, but I'm just so excited to
Yeah.
experience your music and the Atlanta vibe as well, you know.
Yeah.
Hey,
Down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and see the vibe.
And yeah, I think I'm gonna feel the energy. I can already feel it. I can already feel it.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
already there. I'm already in the venue,
Yeah.
in the event. I'm already there. I've been in there all week. So every time I play music, that's what's popping up for me. You know.
Beautiful. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like it's a high energy. It's like you come there to sweat it out. You know, you come there to like dance it out, dance it out, and dance it in. Like dance out whatever you want to get rid of, and dance in intentions.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And we forget that dance is our most ancient medicine. It's our most ancient source of portal opening to call in your dreams. You know.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting you say that, because our last event here in Atlanta was called High Intentions. And
I mean,
as people came in, we created a porthole for people to go into the event space. And we had 2 12-foot white walls either side of the porthole with permanent markers. And they wrote intentions on the boards before they went into the party. So
I love that.
but we were saying not just your intentions, but your high intentions. Times your intentions by 10 or 1,000, 100, you know, and you know, write those down and then go into the music arena with those intentions, so you can dance them and make them all happen.
Yes. Yeah, we're so, I mean, I can just, you know, what's so fun is when you know, like I've been in this business for long enough, and we've had, you know, hundreds of thousands of community members and, you know, thousands of artists, but like, you know, when you meet a kindred spirit, you're just like same galaxy, same, you know, same team.
Yeah.
Like that's what it really feels like here. It's like, oh, we're just meeting again in this life, you know? Yeah. So it's good to meet you guys again, you know, in this life.
You too.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Go ahead. Close out the chat.
Oh,
yeah.
We'll go ahead and close. Thank you.
Eli, do you want to come back in and say bye?
No, you can.
Eli's back.
So we will see each other and all of Tambor family Sunday, July 24th, 7 a.m. for yoga. Dance party starting at 8 till 10 at the infamous Illuminarium.
Let's go.
Stan Zeff.
More information at your website, which is
daybreaker.com.
Right.
Yep.
Just the beginning.
Just the beginning. What an honor to collaborate together.
Right. Yes.
All right.
Much love.
Mwah.
Thank
See you
you.
soon. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Peace and love.